Hello and good morning, guys. This is Andy McCann here with Fitness, Food, and Finance, trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those three things. And today we're going to talk about competitions, specifically the CrossFit Open, or our version, which is the CrossFit Intermural Open, and then also the TRU Challenge and a couple other things. But you guys are crushing it with fitness. You're doing a thing that most people don't do. When you walk into a room like me, you're going to find that you're probably the fittest person around. Now, not in a room like the gym, because there's a lot of fit people in there. But if you go out to dinner with people, I don't know, or you invite people over for board game night or whatever, go to church, you're probably one of the fittest people in the room. So we do this stuff because we want to become harder to kill and look good naked. Now, in those things, CrossFit for me, it's the biggest hack to health and fitness that I have ever found. Now, when I say it's a hack, what am I saying there? There are many methods of chasing health and fitness. I don't think any of them are wrong. If the one that works is the one that you do. So I was filling out some stuff for the TRU Challenge, doing some athlete hype, and one of the ladies on her thing said she has lost 58 pounds. How? Well, I mean, obviously she's doing CrossFit because she's doing this TRU Challenge, but maybe she lost the weight running. Oh, actually, here's a great example. So I went out. Actually, I have a picture of this, so I'll pull this up for you. Today is the 15th. So yesterday on the 14th, I went over to Fort Yargo and I did a race with Dirty Spokes. They had a 50K, a 25K, and a 5-mile run. I am trying to do more of these longer 25K-ish trail runs so I can get ready for the TNGA, the Trans North Georgia Bike Packing Race. You go from South Carolina through Georgia down to or across to Alabama. It's 370 miles of grueling. Most people quit. I think 80% of the people quit. Race? I don't say it's a race. You have 10 days to do it. Anyway, I'm trying to add in some longer distance stuff because I need my hips, my knees, and my feet and all that to understand how to work. So I'm learning, like, my knee hurts after about 1 hour of running, or not running, like slow jogging. And this last race, I kind of worked out the solution on how to help my knees stay good. It's going to be walk the uphills, and I do a slow high step or high knees, and it helps my knees stretch out. But anyway, my point on that was this. I am running. I know in this race, I've got it. One is to finish, but two is to figure out these problems with my ankle and my knee. So I decided this time I am not going to run hard or anything. I'm just going to plod and see how that works. So after about 3 miles, the audience, the competitors shift around to get to their stride, and I just find this insanely funny. You cannot judge a book by its cover. I know people will walk into the gym, and like, especially dudes, they'll walk into the gym and they'll look over and see, I don't know, maybe like a pregnant CrossFitting mom. And they're like, well, I could totally do what she's doing and crush it. And you're like, yeah, you can't. Don't even try. So they get beat by a pregnant woman and they're like, yeah, this stuff doesn't work. I'm like, right, sure. It doesn't work because you got beat by a pregnant woman. She's been doing this for 5 years or whatever, right? Okay, so I'm in this race. 3 miles into it, it shuffles out so that I'm pacing with a person. She's right in front of me. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. I'm a 52-year-old man. I do CrossFit almost every day. I eat extremely healthy. Well, I suppose it's healthy or unhealthy for some. It's carnivore, so proteins and fats. I don't have cheat meals. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat carbs. I even help old ladies across the street. So, man, I am like crushing it, right? And the lady that's in front of me that I'm like, I'm going to run her pace, she's like on her journey downwards from heavy weight to less. And she's out here running, which is awesome. But it's weird to me that my 52-year-old man fitness level is equivalent to, I don't know, she was probably like 30-year-old, and she was probably maybe like 5'2", and probably my weight. So we're both probably like 165-ish. So it's just interesting. You cannot judge the book by the cover. You don't know where the fitness journey is. And this is why we do this stuff. We want to be the hidden gem in the rough, right? I don't want to go out there and be like, like striking poses and stuff. I just want people to be like, well, dang, I want that guy on my team. Why? How does he so fit? Anyway, so it's fascinating with this girl that I was jogging with about like mile 7 or 8. she kind of falls back. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there it was. And then around mile 10, she passes me, not just like slow plodding, but she's like, screw this stuff, I'm in. And she just takes off for the last 2 miles. I'm like, well, what the hell was that? So I wish I would have asked, what's your name? But that, I don't know. It's kind of weird out there. My daughter Evie says, Dad, you got to stop being so creepy. I think I'm just being nice, but she's like, nah, you're creepy. So I'm like, all right, I won't talk to people. I won't talk to strangers out there. Actually, I did meet a guy, Harold. He and I had a good chat while we sort of walked, jogged, kind of hiked through this trail. Anyway, okay. So my point in that is we want to be harder to kill and look good naked. This is kind of why we do the stuff that we do. So part of what we're going to be doing is the CrossFit Open, and we're going to do it intramural style. So I guess to go through this, I need to give you an idea of what the CrossFit Open is, why, what's going to happen. And then hopefully most of y'all saw this last year. So I think last year we had about 30-ish people join into our Intermural Open. This year we have over 50 people. We'll probably get more as people go, oh, wait, this is kind of fun. I mean, yeah, of course it is. So, okay. So let's go. I'll just go in the order of the tabs that I have up on my computer. So this is a podcast, so Fitness, Food, and Finance. And then it's also a YouTube video at Andy McCann 42, because back in 2008, I didn't know how to name stuff. We were like, oh, look, YouTube, let's put our stuff in there. I actually think there is a CrossFit Garage YouTube page that I just forgot how to get to. So anyway, everything's on my YouTube page. Okay. So right here, we've got the schedule, and this is Coach Caroline wrote this up. So it may change. If she changes her mind on how she wants to run it, then we'll totally change it. I am going to hold myself to the standard that the coaches want. I'm kind of like, whatever, let's just get in there and do it. But they would like more of the officials type. So we're going to have judges for each of you. So we'll try to set it up so that there's a heat with some judges and another heat with some judges. I know it's not perfect, but we'll figure out how to make it work kind of funnish. And the idea is yes, there is a competition to see who does better in RX and Scaled and the Open and then the Masters categories. So yes, we're going to track that. But it's more about showing up and having fun. So you can get points. You can get more points just by showing up and supporting. So the idea is really, it's just community building. It's get to know your people that you don't really know. So hopefully the teams are staggered enough in the randomized order that we did that you get to meet people you never knew. So it is fun and funny and interesting to me when I've got somebody that comes at like 6 a.m. and they've been coming for 5 or 6 years. And then I got somebody at 6 p.m. that's been coming for 5 or 6 years. And they don't know each other, but I know them pretty well because it's the wrong times, right? One has a morning time frame, the other has an evening time frame, and the two shall never meet. So it's a great opportunity to just get to see each other. And of course, we do a whole lot of other things that are fun and you should come to. But this is one way to promote community while also doing a little competition. So a fun thing like Aaron did this. Aaron, oh man, how do you say your last name? Warnaker? Anyway, Aaron. She said, hey, I think it was Aaron. I can't climb the rope. I was like, well, hey, look, here's how we do it. We practice it. And I said, in the workout, try it and see what happens. Sometimes with you guys, when we do that, we put the movement in the workout like double unders or whatever. You're like, bam, there it was. Andy, did you see it? So she climbed up half the rope. She's like, hey, look. I'm like, I see it. That is awesome. And she said, should I go up all the way? I was like, absolutely not. Do not go up all the way. So I think she could have, but she didn't. So I guess what I'm trying to say there is sometimes when we put 3, 2, 1, go, a time on it, right? Or your friends next to you, or in a competition, you rise to the challenge. Many times we've done these things and it's like, I don't know, let's say the workout is, hey, do grace. And then at the end, we want you to try to establish a 1 rep max. People have hit the highest or a new personal record in the clean and jerk, let's say, after doing all that stuff, simply because they're in that competitive environment. So we're going to put it out there. We're going to have some fun. Do you have to compete? Hell no. Just have fun. I have seen somebody, who was it? It was great. They wanted to score some points on the RX side, and it was something like deadlift this and then do some pull-ups. And so like, well, I can do the deadlifts, but I can't do the pull-ups. So they just did all the deadlifts, and then their score was the deadlifts. So they would have an RX score. And then they went and finished the workout scaled so they could get a time in there, because if you deadlift more, like let's say the deadlift weight was, I don't know, like 200 pounds for RX, and then the scaled weight was 100. Well, if you deadlift more, then that still counts as scaled, right? So if you did 200 pounds 10 times rather than 100 pounds 10 times, well, right, you just did more. So you could do that. Anyway, so I find it fun and interesting to see what people do, and they come up, they get creative. I also like the fact that people start putting new tools in the tool bag of like burpees. I can do burpees really well and a lot and sustainable because I do like burpees in 10 different ways to keep my body moving. So I don't tire out that one muscle group. Okay, so the schedule, it'll look something like Friday night at 5, we'll go over the standards. So yes, that means there is no 5 p.m. class per se, but those that don't care about anything with this, if you want to just get in there and do your thing, we'll have an opportunity for you to do that. I'm not exactly sure how it'll work yet. I got to talk to Caroline about it, but rest assured, you will get fit. So 5 o'clock, we'll do standards. We'll probably do a coach heat so that you guys could laugh at the coaches as we try to burn it down, and you could watch the standards and so forth. And then we'll do a heat at like 5:30, then a heat at 5:50. Now, we don't know exactly what the heats will go because we don't know the time domain of the workout. The workout may be 7 minutes of burpees, in which case doing 5:30 and 5:50 doesn't make any sense, right? So we'll have to wait and see what that is. Now, like even in the programming that we've got, we don't know what the workout will be. So you'll see a Friday, it's a hole. And then Wodify will populate it Thursday once CrossFit announces the workout. I hope there's a repeat. So I'll get down here eventually where we did a workout in 2011 and they just repeated it the other day. For me, it was 17 clean and jerks squat clean and jerks at 165. I did 17 and one of those. And I thought, I could probably do that again. And I did 2. And I was like, my back doesn't feel great. So this is me being wise and remembering rule number 2. So I immediately dropped back down to the lighter weight and finished it. But it's just fun to go back and compare those things. All right. Where was I? Right there. Okay. So, and then Saturday, hold on, coffee break. And then Saturday, that was hot. We'll do the same thing. So if you've already done it on Friday and you come in on Saturday, it's going to be kind of a hodgepodge. So we'll have Coach Matt there, and he'll do something with you. But the primary thing is going to be these heats again. If you wanted to, you could redo the workout. A lot of people do. I don't like doing that. I don't like the repetitive movement, nor... I know 100% of the time, if you do the workout and then wait a day or 2 and then do the workout again, you'll do better because you already have background in the workout. So what I typically do is I'll try to do it first and give you and everybody else the knowledge that I've got for the workout. But you have to understand that everybody's different, and the workout CrossFit is designed to help all of us funnel down to athletic, harder to kill, and look good naked. What does that mean? I mean, if you take anybody and you put them into Olympic sprinting, you can imagine what they're going to look like after 5 years of training. CrossFit's doing the same thing. It's trying to get everyone right-sized in strength, gymnastics, weight, endurance, all that stuff. But of course, everybody's different. So like my 5'8" frame is going to look a bit different than say Coach Josh's 6'8" frame, or however tall he is. Actually, if you look at us, we're very similar-ish. He's just got more muscle everywhere because he's a bigger person. Okay. So those that have signed up, let me flip over to that. We have got 4 teams currently. If a bunch of people sign up or want to jump in, then maybe we'll make more or just add you to this. But team 1, we're actually doing names right now, so we don't know the names yet. So it's led by Josh and David. And then team 2 is Jamie and Chris. Team 3 is Jordan and Louie. And team 4 is Caroline and Andy. I think team 4's team name is going to be "and in first place with 23 points." I tried to convince him to do that, and I don't think that's going to be the name. But I'm not going to read through everybody's name. You can go and look to see which team you're on. There's a picture on Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else, so you can go see that. Also, they should have texted you to help figure out the name. But there's like 52 of us, or maybe more than that, 55. Well, I guess if I had the coaches in there. So almost 60 people doing this. We have on the records about 100-ish members. So that's basically 60% of the gym is participating. So if you're not participating, you're left out. You're not cool. Come on and work out with us. Okay. So let's give a little bit about the Open and talk about what you'll see. So the CrossFit Open was started back in, let me go back here, 2011. Basically, they said they were doing the CrossFit Games, and they said, hey, the internet's pretty cool. What if we did an online competition? Not only would we raise money, but we would also give everybody the opportunity to compete and kind of normalize or standardize where you are throughout the years in terms of your level. So it's pretty neat to me to see this, that I've been doing this for, so 2011, I did the 2025, so it's 14 years. Jamie, see that math I just did there? So 14 years of, actually 15 because it's inclusive. It includes 2011. Yeah, so inclusive, exclusive math. I hate that. They're like, did it include it? Did it not include it? Anyway, there was less people doing it in 2011, so the numbers get skewed out big time, but then they kind of pull back in to see like where you place in the world. They also came up with more categories, which makes it slightly confusing. So let's see. In 2011, for men around the world, I was the 1,403rd for the Open. And you're like, wow, that's pretty good. Well, there wasn't very many people doing this, nor did the internet, was it really that easy to do all this stuff back then? So, whatever. The next year, my rank doubled, so I went to 2913th. So, I was twice as bad. And then the year after that, because more people kept registering, I was 3 times as bad. So I went up to almost 9,000th place or 8,000th place. And it keeps going up from there. So it's the worldwide rank blows up significantly. So in 2014 is probably when they first started tracking the worldwide rank. And in this one, I am, this is hard to say. It's 12,886th. That's a big number. So let's call it 13,000. And then in 2025, I'm way older, right? And in that men's group, I am 27,000th. So my rank has doubled, which isn't terrible. Now, the interesting part here to me is that in 2014, I was 555th out of the age group, right? So that cohort of people, the age group, has continued on. And today, that same age group, because, this is the same people, right? Well, not the same age group. It's now, instead of, 40 to 44, now it's 50 to 54. But you know what I mean? They're the same people because we all get older. I am now 424th. So I've actually improved in my age group. And of course, because a lot of people fall off. And, man, I am effing healthy, dog. I do this all the time. So as long as it's in the Open... As long as it's in the Open, they usually don't do extremely heavy weights. Instead, they parse people out by the monkey skills, like the circus tricks. They're like, okay, do these things, and then there's some muscle ups. And most people get stuck on the muscle ups. I can do that. As long as it's not like, hey, it's 185 pounds overhead, I can keep going in the workout. But yeah, I couldn't. Oh, look at that. In 2024, I was 241st. Oh, you know why? It's because I just became 50. So yeah, so they do these age groupings, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And the best you'll ever do typically is right when you turn 50, right? So that makes a lot of sense. So right as I moved to the age group, I did better. Yeah, look at that. So in 2018, in my 40 to 44 group, I was 2,306th. But the year I moved up, so I turned 45, I was 415th. So I slowly creep up the scale. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so let me go back to the Open. What is it? So CrossFit is what we do. There is the methodology of CrossFit, constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity sometimes. And they measure the definition of fitness is your work capacity across a broad time and movement domain. So that's there, and I would agree with that. If I could do more of what you asked me to do faster, then, or I could do heavier or whatever, I'm fitter than I was when I did it before, right? So You register through CrossFit.com or games.crossfit.com, and they have a whole entire, like, what is it we're going to do? The good thing is you guys don't really need to know any of that. Just show up. We'll take you through everything. So let's see what they say about what is the Open. Oh, man, reading out loud, my old nemesis. I can do quick math, but I can't read out loud. It's so crazy. The CrossFit Open is the world's largest participatory sport event. It is the first stage of CrossFit Games season when hundreds of thousands of athletes come together to compete in a series of events over 3 weeks. Some do the Open to advance to the later stages of competition that eventually culminate in the CrossFit Games. That's pretty much none of us. I think 3 of us have made it to the next step before, but I paid my money and went and did that. And I think there was 900 old guys that were allowed to move on. And I was ranked originally like 500th. So I thought, oh, that'd be good. But when it came to the next stage, it was too heavy. And so of the 900, I was like 899th. I was really bad. There were guys that were ahead of me that decided not to finish after they did the first workout and realized they got crushed, and they still beat me because their score was so high. Anyway, super stupid. So the CrossFit Games, where the fittest on the earth is crowned. But the majority of the Open participants do this for other reasons, and that's us. Challenge themselves, test their fitness, bond with the community. That's all of us. That's what we're doing. The Open workouts are accessible to everyone, from the elite to the absolute beginner. And that's true. So especially because there's ranking, so you can do it as RX, you can do it intermediate, scaled, beginner, you can do it masters, whatever. There's so many different categories to fall into, and you could just do those things, right? So should you do the Open? The answer is yes. Do you need to pay them to do this? No, I don't care if you register. There's a couple of us registered. I'll get to that. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to count that this year as part of the points, because we don't want to make money part of the points. We want your community to be the points. When you register, what's included? Basically, you can just register for the thing for $28 and some change, or you can add in a t-shirt and other stuff. I typically never do that. I just do the register. I usually don't like their shirts, but last year's I did, so I kind of missed out on that one. What if I just started CrossFit? Can I do the Open? Yeah, sure. This is what we do. This is totally scalable. It's a beautiful thing. One reason I love CrossFit is anybody can start at any time, anywhere. So just jump on in. Do I have a discount code? I don't think about that. Do I need to take the judges course? Listen, I did the judges course. I've been doing the judges course since they've offered it. So forever. However, I don't know how many years. I know all the answers. I know all the tricks. I've done this over and over and over. It still took me, I timed it. It took me an hour and 10 minutes to simply click through as fast as I could. So there was delays on the videos and other things you had to actually like go through. But the answers are still the same. A squat's a squat's a squat. I didn't have to relearn what a squat was. It took me an hour and 10 minutes, and all I was doing is clicking as fast as I could. I do admit, on like the double under count, I got that wrong a couple times, but that was minuscule compared to the overall just clicking. So when we do the judging, everyone's just going to put my name as I was your judge. That's totally fine. I'm not going to make everyone blow. I mean, gosh, if it took me an hour, it's going to take everyone else at least 2 or 3 hours just to get through it, because you're probably going to want to actually watch some of the things. But our coaches they know what they're doing. They don't need to do that. If you're a member and you're like, well, I don't really coach anything, should I do that? Yeah, totally. Go and do that. If you want to judge people, we will teach you how. But I mean, it never hurts to have more information, right? Let's see. We do not need to video because we're a official gym. So I think, well, let me read this. So our video is required, not for most athletes competing in the Open. Athletes athletes who complete the Open at a CrossFit affiliate in good standing, which we are not required to submit videos for their workouts. If an athlete chooses to complete the Open at an affiliate, they have the option of entering their scores via videos. They choose not to go to an affiliate. They can enter their scores with a video. So basically, there has to be some sort of proof. Athletes in the top position on the leaderboard will be checked. So basically, most of us, we're not in the top. It doesn't matter anyway. Okay. Next one. So if you go to games.crossfit.com, that's where you'll see more of the stuff. So here's what will happen so you know what to expect. Typically, it's going to be Wednesday night at it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday, right? Oh man, now I don't know. Hold on. Let me Let me actually find the schedule. Overview, schedule, leaderboard, workouts. Cool. I just pulled up a bunch more tabs. Let me go through those. So what can you expect? Yeah, it's 3 workouts, 3 weeks. So we do 1 every week. They don't have the workouts up yet. This is from 2022, so you don't need to know. Okay, here you go. Workouts are released Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So that is plus p.m. Pacific is 4. So that's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And that's actually not true. That's when they start their announcements, and they're finally announced like sometime in there. Usually there's a link you can get to it right at 4, but people jam the crap out of it, so it's hard to actually pull it up. So we will know the workout then. What I will typically do is say, hey, here's the workout. Here's what I would do to maximize your score, or here's what I will do. Again, my body is different than your body. Should you do exactly what I do? No, but at least it gives you some insight. You're also able to do the workouts up until Monday at 5 p.m. when the last score is due. So I guess 4 o'clock would be the last time you could really start doing the workout. If you want to input it into CrossFit.com. If you don't care about that, then whatever. We just do the workout together. You put the score in on Wodify, and we are done. So there'll be 3 workouts. We have no idea what they are. There is let me pull this up. There's a list of, common CrossFit open movements. So there is a list of most common CrossFit movements. So the 5 most common open movements are double unders, bar muscle ups, toes to bar, thrusters, and chest to bar pull-ups. Coming in a close second is wall balls, snatches, burpees, deadlifts, and cleans. So this is why in the last couple months, or maybe the last a couple of weeks, maybe 5 weeks, they've been focusing on specific movements. We've seen a lot of knees to elbows. So my guess is that's probably in there somewhere. Typically, when you follow CrossFit affiliate programming, they have a bit of an in on what's happening. Is that like for real? I don't know. It could just be me hoping they do. Okay, so go to CrossFit Garage. Yeah, go to my page, CrossFitGarage.com, and you can't do anything. You have to go to their website to register. Okay. So, yes, I have fun when I do this stuff. And no, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm the true introvert. I enjoy talking to my camera and y'all listening without me actually being there. So, that's not true. I like people, sort of. All right, so there'll be 3 workouts. There's an RX version, there's a scaled version, and there's even foundations. Hey, I am totally just beginning. Yep, you can click on that. Obviously, if you do it RX, 1 point in RX is more valuable, or it scores you higher if you're like putting your scores into the official open, than any amount of score in the scaled, because it's scaled, right? So RX comes first and then scaled. Okay, schedule. The registration's already open. February 26th, they've got workout announcement, 26.1, February 26th. Let me look that up real quick. When is that? Save all. Got to get out of my thing. The 26th is, in fact, a Thursday, so we will see it on a Thursday. They've got it at 3 p.m., so they lied on their other thing. 3 p.m. at Moffett Air National Guard Base, okay? So they've got a show, February 26th at 3 p.m., their show starts, and then it's over by 8 p.m. I sometimes will watch the extreme awesome athletes do the workout to see what a normal human should scale it back to. So if the best people out there do, 50 rounds, then I'm like, okay, this mere mortal will do well to hit like 20, right? Okay. The next workout will come out on March 5th. Then the last one will be March 12th, and we'll be done. We will do some sort of award ceremony. I'm just not sure how that'll look. There's a lot of traveling going on between the coaches. So Coach Caroline will make the decision, and whatever it is, I will back her up, because that's what leaders do. They back up their people. All right. There is a leaderboard. You can go and look and see who's on there and how they did, whatever. Most of us aren't going to care. We do have a gym page because we're affiliate in good standing. So we've got all the stuff that you should have. So you can win if you register to be in, like, through the open, like not with us, because you don't owe us anything. Actually, I take that back. If you're on a team with us, it's $30. We're going to go get a shirt and we're going to fast print them, which costs more money. But if you want to register for the Open, you can. It's like $22, I think. And then you can get a shirt and all that if you want to get through them. But you don't need to. But if you do, make sure you tag us as your affiliate so you can jump into our score validation list, right? So this is what gives me the power, this webpage, to validate all of your scores. So if you don't put it in, I can't validate it. If you're not doing it through headquarters, then it doesn't matter. You just put it into Wodify. Let's see. Oh, we've got a couple people already registered. I'll name them in a second once I drink some coffee. All right, so we got, of course, me, Andy McCann. We got Angela Davis, Carolyn Mraz, Chris Lopiccolo, Jeremy Cowan, Josh Stidham, and Sam Potts. I would imagine as we get closer, we'll see a bunch more people jump in. This also is, it'll only show up here for me if you actually tagged me in your registration or tagged the gym. If you don't, then I won't know unless you tell me. And we'll have to do some stuff to get you in here. Okay, so I did mention that. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I'm looking at the leaderboard page. So it does rank you by affiliate as well. So typically I do pretty well in our affiliate, but right here it says that I was 6th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. For my age group, 1st, because I'm kind of the oldest guy there. So it's a little bit easier to be in the, if I'm the only one in the age group, then yay. So the trick of it is, they're like, Andy, how do you do so well in the Open? Well, one, it's usually not heavyweight. So they kind of lean it towards what I do well anyway. And the other is you don't come out as fast as you think you should, right? Go a little bit slower so you can maintain. And the next is be able to do the skill bits that they require. So eventually they're going to say, hey, do all this stuff and then do a bar muscle up. If you can do a bar muscle up, it just leaps you way ahead of everything. So typically, historically, it would have been like Louis and Joe and Josh and, oh man, I'm trying to think back from last year's Open. Well, anyway, let's just say those guys. And actually, shouldn't I be able to click on it to see who was in the doing? No, I can't click on it. Anyway, I don't remember who was all in there. You would say like, hey, Louis and Joe, younger, fitter, stronger, more cardio, better looking, they make more money, and they have more testosterone in their body. So they should always beat me. But CrossFit doesn't always work out that way. You need to know yourself, and you need to fix whatever the weakest link is. Both of them actually did do that. So, for example, they would come out a little too fast. I would be behind, but when they would stop to rest, eventually I would start catching up and passing. They know now that, okay, I just need to just throttle it back a tiny little bit. If I throttle it back a tiny little bit, I will get a bigger score. So it's kind of like that Lightning McQueen thing. I got to turn right to go left when he skids or whatever. And so, yeah, so now they like you can see in the last years, I was 3rd. So those two guys crushed it because they throttled back a tiny bit. I know it's a weird thing. Wait, I want to go slower? No, not necessarily slower, but think about it. Like if I'm going to run a mile, I don't want to do the first 400 meters flat out because I'll be toasted, right? And that's just how it is. Okay, so what else do I got for you? This is our programming page. CrossFit actually knows what they're doing for the whole entire year as a kind of this is how we're going to program and things we're trying to hit. So they have the big blocks in there. And then in the month, they already have it all programmed and they drop it into their CrossFit affiliate programming. They probably have it out for like 2 months, but I can see it a month at a time. Wodify, whatever the relationship between them is, they dump it in there 1 week or 2 weeks out. So this is why when you guys are like, hey, Andy, what's the workout on Wednesday? I'm like, I don't know. Because I'm already looking like right now on the 15th, I am doing the editing for the week of the 22nd. So I'm already out ahead of you guys, which makes it hard for me to remember, like, what are we doing? I don't know. I've already done that. And I just did a whole, thing on the newest stuff. Anyway, the point is on the 27th, we don't have a workout because we don't know what it is. I would also recommend if you're into this, like I really want to compete, on Thursday, there's going to be like a clean and jerk workout. So the idea there is, well, it's not going to be terribly on your system, your nervous system, but it could be heavy because it does say build to a heavy, right? I'm not going to build to a heavy. I have no idea what the workout is tomorrow. So I will use it as a move day. I will do squat cleans because it's a great movement and then stand and then do a push jerk because that's great for my body. I am built for push jerks, not presses. Presses are super weak. My press is about 135 pounds. My push jerk, this is my best scores ever. My push jerk was like 215. So, and my split jerk a little bit higher than that. So just when I get to use my hips and my legs, I can jump at almost 100 pounds, almost double the weight with that, right? All right. Now I'm going to move on to the TRU challenge. So 35 minutes in, and here's a TRU challenge. We are going to host, once again, the TRU challenge. It used to be called Festivus. It was called Festivus because most of us did not get to go to the CrossFit regionals or the games or any of that. So it was Festivus for the rest of us, just like in Seinfeld, right? So if you never watched Seinfeld, then you missed the whole reference. So she changed it, Maggie changed it to TRU challenge recently because she wanted to, well, stop the joke and reflect more of what they're doing. So, hey, we're true competitors. We're not uber athletes, but we're competing and having fun and we're challenging ourselves, right? So that's what it is. So it's for novice and intermediates. I would hope that you guys would either volunteer or come in and do it. Currently, we are, let's see, the 15th. So we are 2 months out. So, I got the wrong one up. Let me get the right one. Oopsie. There you go. So if you register by March 21st, then you will be able to get a shirt. After that, they can't get you a shirt because it's too close to the date, right? Our date is April 18th. You got 54 days to register. So almost 2 months still. And we already have like 20 people registered. So you could do it as an individual, it's $80 currently, or as a team, $240. The team is, of course, 80 times 3 right there is 240. So the team is a team of 3. You can pick whatever level you want. It's awesome. This is the most available workouts or competition that I've ever seen. These guys do a great job with this. Let me see if I can find the workouts for you. There you are, WODs. So we will show up on the 18th. Registration will be at 7 a.m. On Thursday and Friday, I'll be doing setup and talking to the volunteers and the judges. And then we will start at 7 a.m. with check-in, and the first workout will go at 8. My job will be to stand on the box, watch the clock, and keep everyone going to the clock. So we never stop that clock, so it's super timely. If I can make that happen. Last year worked out great. We had enough volunteers that everyone was like, no, I could have done more. I'm like, perfect. All right, so I'm going to look at the individual. Actually, I can just click right here to see the team. Yeah, okay, so whatever. So the first workout is called Junk in the Trunk. It's a 2 minutes, as many rounds as possible, max tonnage on the back squat. So you just decide how much you want to put on there and you start lifting. For the 3-person team, it's the same thing, but you have 6 minutes. And you can't change the weights out. So once you pick the weight, you just go. WOD 2 is keeping or keep trucking. So it's a 7 minutes, 30 burpee box overs, 25 alternating dumbbell snatches, 20 hand release push-ups, and 15 toes above hips or knees above hips, right? So you have an option here. So this doesn't have to be toes above. Again, it's skilled and novice, right? Or intermediate and novice. The team is going to be very similar. They just bump everything up by 3. So you have 12 minutes and then it's 90, 75, 60, and 45 of all that stuff. And you can swap out as you want. So the team aspect is, hey, I'm no good at this thing. What if we just swap right there and you can do them? So it gives you a way to get through some things that you probably wouldn't be able to get through. So let's go with the third workout is called Trust the Process. There's 3 rounds, a 3-minute AMRAP with a 1-minute rest. You do 20 Russian kettlebell swings, 15 reverse goblet lunges, and 10 single arm kettlebell shoulder to overhead. The one problem with this workout is she picked a 26-pound kettlebell. So I've got these little weights that you would tape to your tire to like rebalance it. So I've got those and then I'll duct tape them on to get our 25-pounders to be 26 pounds. Yeah, it's whatever. It's irritating, but that's what I got to do. And then the team would be similar. They're just upping it to a 5-minute AMRAP. And WOD 4 is Truly Awful is the name. It's 3 rounds for time of a 4-minute time cap. So it's 10 calories on the Echo Bike and then 10 cleans at 95 or 65 pounds. And then novice and masters, it drops it down. The teams would be very similar. WOD 4, yeah, so it's 9 rounds for time with a 10-minute time cap, and then you rotate. So anyway, the whole thing is meant to be very accessible to all and should be freaking awesome. The last time was great. Everybody, all the competitors said, hey, well-run event, and it really was the volunteers. There was enough people doing the right things that it was super smooth. And I think the other big piece was we put enough buffer between the workouts that the volunteers were never rushed. So when I used to do this with the garage games and we would do like 1,200 people in an event, we would thread the needle so damn tight that it was effing awful. It was horrible. And I never wanted to do it again. But doing it like this, I'm like, okay, I can do that. I mean, you could ask anybody from our old coaching staff or long-term members that are still here, does Andy like competitions? The answer is no. Now, I don't like competitions because sometimes RX athletes are so into their own self, they're assholes, and I hate working with them. They're like, that thing wasn't exactly right. And you're like, this is a freaking volunteer. Shut your mouth. But novice and intermediate, never had a problem. So I enjoy those people. I also enjoy the volunteers that are out there because they're volunteering at a novice and intermediate, and everyone knows that, hey, not all of us really know what we're doing, but we're here to support, and everyone's appreciative of that. So I don't know if I'll ever get back into doing RX competitions. I just have such a baggage that, I don't know. I really enjoy this TRU challenge, though. It gives you the option to compete. It gives the RX people that go out and do those competitions a chance to give back to the intermediates that usually are volunteering for them. Woo! Okay, so that's what we got going on. That's what to expect. The Intermural Open and the TRU Challenge. Y'all give me a call or a text if you need help. Take care.